It is having a delay.
Well, there is a delay. We should be live.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Is that okay? The little thing that says our bit rate is
Yeah,
blah blah
don't
blah.
worry about that.
Okay.
It'll clear itself up.
We are glad to be here. We are feeling much better. For those of you who are part of our email news list and Facebook group page, you know we had COVID. Our entire family came down with it one after another, very much like dominoes dropping, and it was all within days. Like, I think you got it the day after me.
No, you and I got it
At
the
the same
exact
time?
same time.
Okay.
We both went to bed Sunday night with a little bit of a sore throat.
We're still coughing a little
Still
bit, not too
coughing.
bad. It wasn't too horrible, I will say. I'm glad that we got it now. It was the first time any of us have ever had it. And I'm glad we got it now when it's been kind of dumbed down a little bit, as opposed to when it was, you know, people were ending up in the hospital unable to breathe. So we are grateful for that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my hair is really red right now. I have a temporary color depositing shampoo that I put on when my hair starts getting dull between visiting my colorist. So that is why it looks really kind of purpley red today. So thank you very much.
I tried using it. It just made me look like Darth Maul.
That would be funny if you
because
used
it just stained my scalp red.
That would be really funny.
The horns were a little bit awkward to hide, but you know, Darth Maul.
Well, we want to give a shout out to any new subscribers. I know some have been coming in here and there. We haven't done we've done no advertising really, other than having our videos out there and some teasers. So until we can get to where we're doing that, people are coming in slow, but we welcome that. We're glad to see you here. We've been, for those who don't know, we've been teaching painting for since 2011 on a professional basis. Starting with a live studio where we would teach 9 classes a week at one point.
Yep.
And then we had 2 studios at the same time. And we were doing a lot of teaching on a live basis. And now most of our teaching is done online like this. And we love it. We love it very much.
Volume going up and down, huh?
Could that be, I have this pin too low, maybe?
I don't know. It could just be... I almost have to yell sometimes to keep up with Jenny's.
Where's your microphone? Oh, your sweater's kind of covering it a little.
Well, that could be it.
Let us know if that keeps doing that, and Paul can maybe check some things. So, the name of the shampoo is called Watercolors, and you can get it on Amazon, and it's all different colors. It's really fun. I've been using it for quite a while when I need to. So, highly recommend it.
I think the volume going up.
Hey, Sid.
I think the volume going up and down had more to do with we were getting a little note that the connection was a little bit laggy, and that's not anything really other than something between our encoder and YouTube is slowing things down. But I see we've got an excellent connection now. So let us know. I don't think anything should be off with our microphones because we haven't changed anything. So
yeah.
Let's see. We're couple minutes already. It's probably time to start talking about our painting.
Let me zoom in. You can tell us about this one that we're doing out of order.
Yeah.
Should have been the raccoon last week, but this week we're...
Very low now, Paul.
Is there some adjustment we need to make to these?
No, there shouldn't be anything. We haven't changed anything. I can try turning it up a smidge.
Well, I can talk a little bit about our colors we're using.
Oh, you know what? My battery's dead.
Oh, that's why.
Okay.
And you're teaching. Do you want to switch microphones with me?
I brought the other microphone. So let's switch over to the other microphone.
He keeps almost hitting his head on this light fixture we have. So my microphone is probably working fine, right?
Yeah, yours is working fine, but I'm going to switch our microphones.
Okay.
To the other, you know the other ones?
Yeah.
I made sure to charge those.
I saw them.
This might happen. So
okay.
Tell people, hold on, we'll be back online in just a second.
We're still online, but he's just changing out the microphones. Here.
No.
ready to turn this off.
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, now just ask people if they can hear you.
Okay, let me know if you can hear me. And you need to say something too, Paul.
Well, I'm working on it.
It's only Paul's microphone that's low. Okay, yeah, that was just the battery going dead.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Let us know.
You're kind of out of the picture a little bit.
Oh, well.
I've never seen it have such a delay.
Well, it's because we usually are using the live monitor too. All right, so we should be good. Can you guys let us know if my microphone sounds good now?
Marlene says, yep.
Okay,
Yay.
cool. So these
I was just starting to talk about the colors.
Okay, so the colors we're using tonight, sorry for those of you who are new, we've had brain fog for a week, so I kind of
Well, it was the microphone going dead.
Well, part of it is because I forgot to charge the microphones earlier.
brain
But
fog.
then when I was home, I remembered, let's bring the other microphones just in case, and I charged them. So we're good to go. Okay, so colors-wise, we are using our standard colors that we have been using for the last few months. We've got process magenta, process yellow, process cyan. Now, if you don't have the same colors that we do, you can use any red. You can use any kind of lemony yellow, cadmium yellow, bright yellow, craft yellow works. Cyan, you can use phthalo blue, cobalt blue. Those are going to work fine. Sid, you had messaged earlier. Turquoise will be fine too. This color is kind of a lighter, this painting's kind of a more pastel-y painting, so it doesn't really matter too much. Black, white, and yellow ochre, if you have raw sienna, that will work as well. We really don't use very much of it. But let's go ahead and get started. Let me see if do I need to zoom in a bit? I guess I could zoom in a bit. Oh, I can see it. We're good.
Yours ended maybe
There we go.
You'll want to make sure people can see your
Well, I can see on there.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, you're right. We did go. We have loaned our live, like our real-time monitor that we usually use to keep an eye on this stuff to
our nonprofit.
Our nonprofit for the week. So we're kind of operating with just one monitor, which is what we normally have two. One's real-time and one's our YouTube. So we're just using off our YouTube, and the downside with the YouTube is there is a little tiny bit of a delay.
And Kim, to answer your question about bright red, with these colors, the idea is you can make something really close to red by mixing a little of the magenta with a little tiny bit of yellow. But it's not going to be the same as like our old bright red.
Right. So, but the point is like, you can use any color; it'll work. It's just going to be a little bit different looking in the end, which is fine.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start off. We're going to start off with our biggest brush, and I'm going to take a peek at my instructions because it's been a little while. It's been a minute. And what we want to do is we're going to start off by mixing our sky blue color. And what we're going to mix is we're going to take a little bit of our cyan. Now, I'm not a huge, big fan of just pure blue for doing a sky. Yeah, we're going to add just a touch of magenta to it. Just a tiny little dab.
Unless you want it more purple.
Unless you want it more purple, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then we're going to add a little bit of white to just bulk it up. And basically,
we mix, so to make a red with this, I'll just put this here.
Oh.
You're going to take a tiny bit of this yellow and mix it with a little bit of the magenta.
Right.
And it's definitely more magenta than yellow. And that will get you something that's really close to like a poppy red. It's definitely more orange-based.
Yep. All right, so I'm just going to start kind of in the middle here. I'm going to add a little bit more blue of cyan and a little bit more magenta. I apologize for the throat clearing. I know it's like one of the most off-putting sounds to probably have to hear amplified over a microphone on YouTube. But it is what it is.
So it turns out Greta was pretty asymptomatic, but still ended up having to miss school.
Well, she was still contagious. She was still contagious. So
That's right. Hayden got the cough, which he said is the worst cough he's ever had in his life. But I've heard him, I mean, I've raised him since he was newborn, and I know he's had worse coughs, but it probably feels like it. Glad to see our whole crew on here tonight.
Yeah. Well, Daniel, where's Daniel at?
Oh, yeah, where's Daniel?
Daniel, where are you at? All right. So I'm just going to kind of come down a couple inches with this. Kind of come down a little bit of a V. You don't have to, but. And then what we're going to do next is we're really just going to go start right into some white. And what we're going to do is we're going to just, while this is wet, I'm just going to start dabbing. You can use a little bit more white. And then you can kind of fluff it down a bit.
Fluff.
Yeah, the sky was like what I was really excited about with this painting.
It does have a pretty sky.
Do a little bit more white. And just kind of think of like cotton fluffy ballies.
Fluffy ballies?
Country balls.
We watched a movie the other night that had popcorn balls in it, and the lady called them country balls. That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And the movie is called Gentlemen Broncos, and it's just weird, but fun.
It's by the same.
If you like Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, it's that kind of humor.
Yeah.
Same directors.
Oh, Daniel's here.
In the house. Oh, I had that weird burning esophagus cough back in '95. How can you even remember that? I never had anything more painful or delirium-inducing. Okay, maybe that's why you remember it. COVID was a walk in the park by comparison after all the vaccines.
Well, maybe you had COVID-95.
Yeah, you had COVID-95.
It's probably true. Since we know it's been around forever.
Colds are coronaviruses.
All right, so we're going to do a couple more layers of this. So we've just started with our dark sky, and we've just lightened it by doing a row of clouds. Now we're going to lighten this row of clouds with another row of clouds.
Guess we're learning clouds tonight.
We are learning clouds.
There's different ways you can do them.
Yeah, the one thing you want to really kind of be careful of is that you don't just mimic the line above.
That is something that is very hard to break away from.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going all the way across?
Yeah. We're not doing that Kenny Loggins song.
Dog, because I thought I had to. Memory of how I got home for the next 2 days. I had a sickness like that in college. Awful.
Now we're going to come back and re-enhance some of these edges and stuff, so don't feel like you have to get it perfect right now. Did you get my Kenny Loggins? Well, you don't want to go halfway. You don't want to go, meet me halfway across the sky.
There's your next karaoke song.
There it is. So I'm going to do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. One more time. I apologize. There it is again.
Better take a drink.
I might. We're committed. We're committed to doing the best we can.
crazy that Easter is next weekend, next Sunday?
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So early this year.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it was just winter. For real.
I think I'm done singing for tonight.
I'll be more impressed if he starts karaokeing Andrew Gold.
I don't know.
Yeah, give us a lesson, Daniel. We don't know who Andrew Gold is.
Fill us in, my man. Fill us in. All right, so I'm just going to kind of pull this color down to within an inch or so of the bottom.
Okay.
Golly, just the new people.
He's not normally so throat cleary.
I know I've actually been doing pretty well the last couple of days, but I think talking makes a big difference. Well, that's cool, Daniel. That's a nice thing to hear. His profile pic on Facebook. Three Mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
All right.
That.
Not to cut you off, Daniel, but we got to move into this next step quick because we want to do this while this is still kind of wet. So I'm going to take now a little bit of my magenta and a little bit of white. And it's okay if your brush has still got a little bit of blue on it. I think it actually helps a bit. But magenta and white, maybe a little bit more on the magenta side. There we go. You just kind of want like a kind of a medium pink.
Looks like you were purposely putting cyan in it.
I didn't. I didn't intentionally. You can. And I'm just going to do the same exact technique that we just did for the clouds, but we're using this color.
And these are the trees?
Yeah. I've got too much paint on my brush right now.
How far down do you want us to come?
All the way.
Really? Down to the ground?
All the way down. Better to go all the way down than it is to not go down too far enough. If this goes on really heavy for you, you can always take your brush and wipe it off on your paper towel and just kind of soften this edge up a bit. I actually, when I was designing this painting, my thought process was not the way this actually ended up, to be honest with you. Because I had started this basic background for a couple of other paintings that just didn't develop out quite right. And my thought was I wanted these to be like sakura, aka cherry trees, that felt like a layer of clouds themselves because they're so billowy and bright. So that's why we're painting them the same way. Let me add a little extra magenta in here if you want to.
Someone had posted drone footage of the cherry blossoms down on the waterfront in Portland. It looks so pretty. Right at it's either sunrise or sunset. I could tell.
The only thing, I love the cherry trees and the plum trees and stuff that we get here, but it always feels like they get really bright and they're just so beautiful, and then we get like a day of heavy rain and they all fall off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we've got going on.
Yeah, we had really nice weather, especially towards the end of our sickness, and then it's starting to rain now and be cloudy, but it hasn't really rained a ton.
No, it's just kind of lightly sprinkled. I'm just adding a little extra magenta in here.
This painting has a very impressionistic vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of what I wanted.
Are you kind of deepening that area down there?
A little bit. Just kind of doing that to kind of help stretch the color a little bit more. So next month, we haven't painted next month yet.
No, April. Let us know what you guys want. Because I haven't really thought about anything yet.
No.
I've been actually doing a lot of work for Paul for his pet wash system business.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of online stuff for him.
We're working like a team on that.
And then we're also working on developing a new logo for our rebranding, which I've been kind of stuck. A lot of times I'll wait for inspiration to hit, and sometimes it'll just randomly hit. Like I'll just be driving in the car, and it'll be like, "That's it! It's in my head." And then other times it just takes a long time. It takes a lot of actual like drawing and redrawing. And
we may actually launch the new website without the logo.
we might temporary logo. I have a temporary
just
logo.
words. Just words. One thing though we decided to do is not get rid of individual kits.
Not yet.
Yeah, we're not going to do the subscription, but individual kits we're going to keep.
We do still sell enough of those that it's nice to like, oh hey, that paid our internet bill, or
Right.
you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So the next thing we're going to do here is we've kind of laid all this foundation. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start anniversary coming up.
Very nice. What day in April, Kim? And Daniel, what day is your birthday in April? Curtis is the 26th.
Daniel's is tax day.
Oh, that's right. I did know that. Yes, I know, Joanna. I'm glad. And it's not hard to just stock the supplies for those because we always have canvas.
Well, and our daughter Greta is turning 18 next month. I just scheduled her tattoo consultation for her birthday present from us.
Greta's been wanting to get a tattoo since age 12.
Yeah.
And we can't really say, no, you can't, because...
Right. Well, and it's kind of fun because when we had our studio in Tigard...
Happy anniversary.
Our neighbors were a tattoo shop. And we used to go over, and one of the guys that worked there was really into anime, and Jenny and I became good friends with many of the artists that worked there, but Brandon in particular we became good friends with, and he was really into anime when Greta was around 10, 11, when she was just getting into anime, and we used to go over and she used to come over with us and just visit.
And look at his Funko Pops
He had a
collection.
whole wall of Funko Pops, and so what she said when she was ready to turn 18, she's like, I really want Brandon to do my first tattoo because he really was kind of her introduction to that world. And
he just won a major award.
He did just win, actually 2.
Yeah.
At the local big tattoo convention, he won 2 awards. So anyway, so he was really excited. He's like, how is she? That's like Daniel just said. How is she 18? She was like 3 just a few years ago. Yes, I agree.
It feels like that.
Kind of what Brandon's reaction was when I reached out to him too.
Now we're in the process of trying to find Greta a job.
Yeah.
And that's been a little rough because nothing in the food industry will do germophobia.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to take my big brush. I'm going to give it a quick little rinse, mostly just to freshen it up. It doesn't really need to be clean.
Happy birthday, Joanna, in April.
April is... I feel like we need to like really go all out for April.
Okay, birthday cake painting.
There we go.
Yes, Sydney. Major award.
Well, wait a minute. Sid's birthday is in April too.
That's right, April 3rd.
All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit of black.
Black already. Wow.
Yeah. Just going to go right along the base here.
Is this the ground?
Yeah.
So it can be kind of scrumbled up?
It can be scrumbled and uneven. I think that's what I did in the original.
I think you had like raw sienna in there at first.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I mean, yellow ochre.
No, I didn't. Just kind of right along the bottom to start with. And then I'm just going to, I wiped my brush off because I don't want to have a whole lot of paint going on right now.
Kim says, we were cruising this April too. We allowed one of our twins to get her first tattoo at 16. Clean, and we had to approve the tattoo. 3 stars to represent her and her 2 sisters. That's really cute. I didn't realize you had twins. Maybe we had talked about that at one point on here. Are they identical? And did the twin get a tattoo? Then you could tell them apart if they're not.
See, in Oregon, they don't even have that option for that age.
What are you doing here? You're blending it up into the trees?
Yeah, just blending it up.
Yeah, in Oregon, they have to be 18. Oh, Greta looked fully into it. Convinced that it would be okay if I signed off on it. Nope.
In fact, when I talked to the shop, they wouldn't even do the consultation until after she turned 18.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, I've already been talking to Brandon about it, so he knows what he's doing. But as far as the actual formal consultation, if you guys want to check him out, his Instagram is Nightmare Inc.
Yeah, and I don't know. He won an award for like best large color piece, I think.
Yeah, best sleeve too.
It's Nightmare_Inc. Brandon Hildebrand. Very talented.
And it's kind of fun because when we started, when did they move into Tiger? That was in like 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And several of the guys, Brandon's one of them, were just getting started.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know if you saw his post about how it's only been the last 5 years he suddenly started taking it seriously. And he said, in the very beginning, all I cared about was just having fun and partying. And
well, it's funny,
really
he got married about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So that was kind of neat to see because I've noticed his art has definitely, since he started, kind of taking it more seriously, his art has improved drastically.
Oh, they're fraternal. Oh, that's cool.
33.
All right, so this gets a little bit muddy for the time being, and that's okay. We're going to bring color back in and brighten things back up. Yeah, in fact, one of the other artists who started was pretty new to starting, Davey. Now that shop opened a second location. He manages that second location.
That's cool.
He's their lead artist.
So. You have 5 big tattoos. Had to stop when you got on blood thinners. Yeah, that would be a little bit of a problem. I could see.
All right, so I'm going to take my number 8 brush now. I'm going to start kind of enhancing some of these clouds a bit. So I'm just going to take the number 8. Doesn't have to be wet, just clean. And I'm just going to take a little bit of white. And I'm not going to worry about this back section. I'm just going to kind of let it be a little bit more vague. And what I like to do is I just kind of start kind of blotting this color along the edge in some spots. You don't really want to do it all over because then it feels kind of stripy and intentional.
You're blotting white?
Yeah, just in some spots. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of blot some extra along the edge here and then just kind of blend it out into the existing cloud. And this is just a good way to just add some extra pop if you lost some of that separation. And you can do a little bit more on this one here too. Kind of think of the brush as just kind of like swirling a bit. Swirling and then blotting, dabbing some little extra bits out. I mean, nothing holding you back.
Daniel wanted to get a tattoo of Brad Pitt's face on his face when he. Interesting. I wonder if that would work. Yeah, we're not sure what he looks like anymore. Well, he's aging, but I think he's had some light work done. His face looks suspicious. I always think that'd be hard to be a celebrity and just like decide, I'm gonna go get lip fillers. Because it's not like you can just get lip fillers and just be like, your friends are gonna always wonder if you did. It's all over the news. It makes the news stories. Or I'm just using that as an example, just any kind of minor procedure or major, I guess.
Well, and then it can go totally like Meg Ryan, who's takes a lot of heat.
Yeah, she got a little addicted.
It's okay to age people.
Drew Barrymore's one who she said she won't ever do plastic surgery, or at least is planning on not doing it because she has a very addictive personality, and she thinks that if she does it once, she might get addicted to it. And I'm like, man, I respect that.
Well, I'm not showing that I've got a microphone issue. My light's on.
Maybe it got weirdly tucked under your shirt.
It shouldn't have, but...
Let us know if you can't hear Paul, because I'll trade mic with him. Or I can just dictate everything you're doing. He's now adding white and blending it down from the top of his clouds. It randomly drops audio. Lost sound on Jenny. What's going on, Paul?
I don't know, because it looks like we've got a good connection.
Is the thing maybe not fully charged?
No, it's fully charged. That's plugged in. I feel like it's a YouTube connection thing tonight. I don't know.
Well, let's all just catch up while he looks into that. Because I am a little bit behind.
Plug this in too. I mean, everything looks good.
When do you guys do the painting where one of you gives instructions and the other one follows them but can't see what you're doing? We need to do that.
We can make that happen. It might take a little bit of time to set up. All right. I don't know why we wouldn't be having... Let me try one more thing. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to try a different cable here real quick. All right, tell us if we're back.
Yeah, tell us if we're back, if you can hear us. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? That sounds louder and crisper. Okay. I changed cables, so.
Okay.
It could be that cable's just getting worn out. Yeah. All right. So everything's looking pretty good. The next thing we want to do is one of the things I really wanted to have in this painting is
awesome.
This like kind of like balance of the magenta with not burps. That was a burp. My apologies.
Jeez.
With green. Like pink and green to me is a nice combination. And so what I'm going to mix up is a little bit of our yellow ochre.
Okay. Big brush?
Big brush is fine. Number 8's fine too.
Yellow, ochre, and cyan.
And cyan. You want it to be kind of, I'm going to add just a touch of magenta to it as well. There we go. Kind of olivey.
Olivey.
There we go. And you don't want a lot on your brush, but I'm just going to kind of start.
Crumbling?
Yeah, just kind of like in this middle area. And it's going to take a little bit of effort to wipe the brush off a little bit because you don't want to bring too much of this color in.
Are we going all the way across?
All the way across, and we're going to kind of bring this up into our pink trees.
Burps can be green.
I don't want to hear about your green burps, Daniel.
That was you. You're the one who burped.
I know. I'm not the one who said they can be green.
Are these shrubs?
This is just kind of like.
Okay.
This is. This is just kind of like the leaves and stuff in the trees.
Oh, I see. So they do need to go a little higher than mine have.
Yeah, this is all part of the layering process.
Oh man, look what I just did.
Oh no.
I guess I'll just put green there.
It's all right. We can build it back up.
Yeah. My brush just kind of decided to go on its own little journey partway up the canvas with green. Barney Gumble.
Barney Gumble.
Who's Barney Gumble? He's throwing out names we don't know.
In case you guys don't realize, Daniel's actually 72. He references these old things. Oh, Barney from The Simpsons. My heart stopped.
My heart stopped. We still laugh about him all the time.
I was thinking of some reference to some like TV show from the 50s. Like,
it sounds like an 1850s name.
all right, so that's a good go in there. Sorry for the throat clearing, you guys. It's brutal.
You'd use Afrin.
I've got some. Will that help my throat clearing?
Might.
All right, let me go shoot up a little bit.
Snorts nasal spray? Where I could score some? No. No, I do not want to snort your nasal spray. Yeah, it's kind of eucalyptus-y. If that's a word.
I took my microphone off for that. Barney 5.
They're still talking about Barney. You know, our son is, he has a really funny sense of humor. And one of his favorite videos of all time is there's the Macy's Day Parade, and there's a giant Barney inflatable.
Barney Rub.
And it's
Barney the dinosaur.
Barney the dinosaur. And it's really windy that day, and it like is blowing all over, and it hits a street light, and it just completely rips open and pops. Thinks it's the funniest thing.
Hey, bartender.
Okay.
I'm
on it. I'm on it.
You can leave your microphone on. We decided, since we're like celebrating getting back to regular life, that we are going to drink actual alcohol tonight. Yeah. All right, so our next step we're going to do, I'm going to take my big brush again. I'm just going to give it a quick little rinse off, and we're going to take some black paint. And I just want to kind of get a little bit more kind of coming in from these sides just a little bit. Just richen it up. It's spring break and Joanna's drinking. By the way, Jenny, I haven't told you yet, but you and I are going out to eat. That's right. Last time, what Jenny just said is the last time we went out to eat, we got COVID. Thanks to our friends. Oh, I've been battling a cold for about a week now.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks.
That was what she said.
Gee, thanks.
She said, oh, I've been battling a cold for about a week now. Next thing you know, we're down 2, and it's not just a cold.
Now, to be fair,
it is a cold, basically.
the place we went with them, we had margaritas that were, how many ounces do you think those margaritas were?
Let me show a photo.
Yeah.
They were huge.
I want to say those were like probably like 32 ounces. Had to have been. Don't you think?
Yeah, there we are.
I'm just going to hold this. I don't know. I got to wait until it shows up on the screen to see if you can see. Come on. Delay. Delay. Anyway, these things were massive.
There you go.
I don't know if you can see, but
they're like fish bowls. Actually, there's one of Matt with it. There's our friend Matt.
There's our friend Matt.
Matt is now famous on YouTube.
And there's like forced perspective there a bit, but I think those were a solid 32 ounces.
They were.
How did we know we had COVID rather than a bad cold? So Monday night, so we went to bed Sunday night with sore throats. Monday night I came home.
They were so delicious, Joanna.
They were really good. And they were strong.
Yeah, I couldn't finish mine.
I came home Monday night and just curled up in a blanket and just had chills. And then we both went to bed. And I actually got up in the middle of the night and changed my shirt because I had sweat through it.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like on Tuesday, then I went to work and we were communicating via text message. And I was like, I have never sweated so much. And then you took the COVID test and, that's all it was.
Yeah, I was like, this feels a little bit different than like your standard cold. And it was the like every so often, it was like a sudden hot flash. Just sweating profusely for like a full half hour. And I'd have to use a little fan, little handheld fan. And then it would go away and I'd be like freezing and have to curl. So I knew it was a little bit more than like your standard cold.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. And and we both lost taste and smell.
We did for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But that was later. And that was weird. I did not like that at all.
No, and it was really strange.
Because I was hungry too.
Paul was super duper hungry, but Greta and I didn't have an appetite.
Yeah, I was super hungry, but and then it was sucked because then I was super hungry and then nothing sounded good because you couldn't taste anything. Like I could taste like what? I would say I could taste a little hint. That was the weirdest thing. It was like I'm getting the sensation of taste, but there's no taste there.
It's like the essence.
It was
you
weird.
You taste the essence of the food.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Greta and I, though, we were testing. We were like trying to smell nail polish remover and like sniffing it and being like, we can't smell it at all. And I was telling my friend Rhea, and she said, be careful because you'll get a headache from trying to sniff all that hardcore stuff.
Well, we did that we took a bottle of rum.
Yes.
Couldn't smell it, couldn't taste. Like, remember, I poured that straight glass of tequila, and I was like, I can't taste it. I'm gonna try it again. And you were like, yeah. Anyway,
we didn't take we didn't take Paxlovid. we thought about getting it for Greta if she ended up getting big symptoms because she has POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and sicknesses affect her very differently. But we didn't ever end up having to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of yellow ochre.
Okay.
Raw sienna, if that's what you're using.
Are we building a field, Meadow?
We're just like slapping a little bit of this color right in the middle here.
Okay.
Let me look at the original. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And I'm leaving a little bit of a dark bit coming in on each side. No, I worked all week. I think I came home about an hour early twice.
Yeah.
I still tried to do my evening workouts to some extent.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't like being slowed down. I don't get man colds.
He says that, but then he was like bundled up like a newborn and whining.
Okay, but that I wasn't whining.
Greta said you were.
That was beyond my control.
My area is a lot lighter than yours, but
That's okay. That's fine, actually. Yeah, that's good. Next thing we're going to do is, this is just, lightening it up a bit. We can always bring the dark back in. That's fine. We don't want this to be too dark. We want this to be kind of a nice, hello, big baby. No, I am not a big baby.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not.
At times.
No.
It depends.
Not when it comes to illness. Illness just ticks me off, and it just gets in my way, and I just try to power through it as much as I can.
That's kind of how Hayden is.
But the thing is that
Sid probably whining.
the downside to that is then when you do get home and you've exhausted all your energy on powering through, your body just goes, yo, you're mine now. All right, so now I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to switch to my number 8. I'm going to take some magenta. And I'm just going to kind of re-enhance.
That is really re-enhancing.
Yeah, I got bold on that, baby.
Is it supposed to be this bold?
It's fine.
Are we bringing it down into the green?
Yep.
Add a little white.
You can if you want to. We're actually going to come back and hit it with some white again anyway.
Okay.
Okay. You can just kind of dab. I sound like that little baby in the little blue snowsuit. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bet that sounds great on the microphone.
So with our nonprofit, I think we've mentioned to you guys, it's an old ballroom space. And we're really taking advantage of that. And in May, so we're in Old Town Sherwood. And in May, the Sherwood High School prom is going on. So we are having a parents' prom. And it is going to be at the same night, starting at like 8 p.m. So well after the kids are off to their prom. And we're going to have a live band and cocktails and
1920s theme.
Yeah, it's a Great Gatsby theme. So we're super excited. We think that's going to go over really well.
You and I never got to go to a dance together. So.
No, but we're bartending that night.
Oh.
I've voluntold us that we're doing that, by the way. And you don't have to be like a parent. Like if there's like a couple that's like 22 and wants to come, totally fine. We just thought we'd call it parents' prom just because it's the same night.
Yeah, I just added a little bit of white because mine was getting a little too.
But yeah, we did think like, oh, we're gonna market it like, maybe you never got to go to prom with the person that you're with now, and now's your opportunity. We'll have a photographer.
We should see if we can work out a deal with the Hampton Inn.
Was the throat clearing there meant for that? Was that intentional?
It was well timed.
That would be funny.
You'll never know.
That would be funny. Prom couples. Ah! Yes, it is. You drove through there. Awesome. That is where we live. Oh, Sid, you never went? Well, you should come. You should go to it. It would be fun. Yeah, Sherwood, driving in from the beach it's like not a pretty town, but when you get down into the old town part, which is where a little theater is, it's really cute and kind of hallmarky.
Very hallmarky, actually.
Old buildings, but that part that you drive through to get anywhere on Highway 99 is just this is not attractive. It's like all big franchises. All the little cute small businesses owned by local couples is in Old Town.
Yeah, yes. Off 99 Sherwood is way better than 99 Sherwood, because most of the buildings in Old Town, there's a couple even that were are pre-1900, which for Oregon, that's pretty old.
The buildings?
Mm-hmm. You know, the old Historical Society building?
Yeah, yeah.
That was like built in like 1880 something.
So what I had heard is the people who founded the town were from the UK, and it reminded them of Sherwood Forest, so they named it Sherwood.
Yeah, that's true. That is the truth of the matter. I'm going to take a little bit more white here. It actually used to be called Smockville.
So Joanna, the Blue Heron French Cheese Company in Tillamook wants us to come out and teach there. So if we were to do that on a weekend night, you'll have to let us know if you would come. I don't know how far is that, Paul? You're better at that. How long of a drive from
it's
Newport to Tillamook?
It's an hour or more.
Yeah, not horrible, but
it's probably 2 hours actually.
Is it really that far?
Yeah.
Wow. We haven't said yes yet.
So I'm just adding a little bit of white to soften this up. Love the Blue Heron. We used to teach there quite a bit, actually.
About once a month for a while.
Yeah. But then they had some local person take over doing their painting classes down there against, like...
It was really weird.
Yeah, somebody else was, like... We used to work directly with the owners. And then they brought in somebody to coordinate, and they had a friend who had taken a class like ours or something and thought they could do it, so...
So they started using them for a while, which, I mean, it's a bit of a drive for us, but it still is kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know. It is and it isn't.
It is. Why do you not think it is? Just because of the drive? It's just a lot of, like, you drive and you're kind of exhausted from driving, and then suddenly you have to teach for 2 hours.
Yeah, and then it's like, then they used to hook us up with...
Say yes. Don't come so fast.
They used to have like a place down on the coast, down on the beach that they would let us stay in, and then they quit doing that too. So.
Yeah, I think they rent it out now. So.
Yeah.
But the Garibaldi Inn isn't too far, and a lot of times we just drive right back home.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay, well, I'll have to. I needed somebody to convince me to do it. I'll have to say yes.
Okay, I'm just softening this up a bit just by taking a dry brush and just kind of letting some of those colors mix and mend. If you guys are new and have never been on the channel, say, hey, what's up? We'll say, hey, what's up back and all that stuff. Yeah, I could understand that, Sid. The colors being a little bit different, you're definitely gonna have a different vibe, but I think it'll still be cool.
Oh yeah, I think it will be like any of those older colors we used to use originally. I think would lend themselves really well to this. Like even mine is very different and much more pastel than Paul's is.
Yeah, kind of.
But you guys will get to see that towards the end.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take my number 8 brush real quick. I'm gonna rinse it off, clean it off. Oh, wait, we're not even an hour in yet. What the heck? How is this going so fast? I'm going to take a little bit more raw sienna. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't really want to zoom because I don't have like a good real-time way of monitoring how the zoom does. I can make it work if I need to. Just going to kind of focus right in this center area. Just a little bit of our yellow ochre, raw sienna.
Need more story time. Okay. What should we tell a story about? Let's see. Something interesting.
Well,
Paul almost hit a hole-in-one on the golf course.
actually, I almost had 2 in the same round. That was actually
I get to hear about all those.
Hey, those are a big deal. I was playing with a guy who is actually a golf instructor in Tualatin, and he said he's never played with somebody and had them get so close to 2 holes in one on one round.
Look out, Tiger Woods.
I could probably beat Tiger Woods right now. He's old and broken.
A hole-in-one in a golf game.
There you go. All right, so just brightening this up a bit. Again, this front part is just like, it's layering is really what we're getting into here. So I'm going to lighten that up a bit. Then I'm going to go right into some black. And let me pull the original in. I haven't brought the original in here in a while. So you can see this is going to change pretty dramatically because we've got this brighter yellow that we're going to pull in here. But for right now, we're just laying down the foundation of being warmer. And then we will bring this brighter color in on top. And so that's going to help it pop a little bit better. But for right now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to start to build in where these couple of rows of flowers are. I would love to make as much money as Tiger Sid.
I would love that too.
I don't think he's already made over $1 billion in his career, so I don't think I'm going to get there.
Don't think it's going to happen.
Because he's still younger than me, so
you can manifest it to the universe.
I'm going to have to do it a different way. You know, he and Nike parted ways. I don't know if you guys know that, but he and Nike.
I did know that.
Yeah, I knew you knew that, but he and Tiger and Nike went different directions. Turns out they don't necessarily want womanizing men who get DUIs all the time and almost kill themselves from driving too fast as their spokesperson.
Shame, shame.
All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to build up this area where the flowers are, and I'm going to add some depth up in here. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use our number 8. Because right now what we've got is we've got this, like, it's kind of turning kind of gray. It's kind of grayish green, and that's okay. But these areas here, I'm just going to take a little bit of our cyan. Oh, I need a little bit of magenta mixed with that. A little cyan and magenta.
And what is this you're painting?
I'm just building some depth.
Is it shrubs?
No, it's shadow.
Okay. Interesting. Go with it. Mm-hmm. So you just did cyan and magenta?
Yeah, I just start out with a little cyan.
Where's the original painting?
Right here. I just was showing it.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I see the shadow now.
Yep.
I just had to see the direction it was going.
You couldn't see it in your own mind?
No, definitely not.
I've got an area that's lifting the paint a little bit, so be careful. Right there. If you start having that, walk away. Walk away fast. Let it be.
When it's lifting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have a couple areas like that.
See, I've got a spot right here that's doing that too. So I'm just going to leave that alone. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do. I think leaving it alone is maybe the hardest thing you can possibly, one of the hardest things to do. Start with a little cyan right here if you need to add a little magenta.
Okay.
So we used black in the beginning of the painting to bring the depth in, but we don't really want this finished painting to have black, per se. We want it to have dark tones and light tones. Black is so, as far as a color on a canvas, is so lifeless. At this area, I can't leave it alone. Okay, leave it. Paul, leave it.
Step away.
Leave it. Leave it.
There are things about this that remind me of the old school Leland John paintings we used to.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you said that. That actually is a good thing. Leland John was our first painting instructor we had in.
He's very good at impressionism and with oils.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about like these kind of like impressionistic paintings? Do you like them? Let us know in the comments because I really like teaching them. And if you guys like painting them, I can do more.
We're going to be selling a bunch of our paintings coming up. I think I'm going to try and do it. Oh gosh, next Sunday's Easter, isn't it? I'm going to do it on a Saturday or Sunday coming up. And
smash the bell.
Like between $5 and $10 to raise money for our our piano, which is over 100 years old.
Sid donated some money.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sid.
You're one of the only ones. Anyway, her name is Priscilla. She's named after Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, from the old Australian movie. She's just an old girl that needs a whole new renovation that's going to be like $2,000. So I decided I'd sell a bunch of our paintings we've done on these videos and plus other ones from our studio.
Cool. I got boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of paintings.
Let's see. Oh, we haven't done a good water reflection in a while. Hint, hint. You should do a painting of... we've already done a lot of haystack rock ones.
Yeah, we've done a lot of haystack rock.
I was putting some stuff away in here yesterday, and I came across some of the old sheets from Cosmic... What's it called? Cosmic Haystack Rock or something. And I thought, I really liked that painting a lot. You know which one I'm talking about?
No, I don't. Oh, I know which one you're talking about, I think.
What we did for Go Box.
So we were talking about earlier today is the hardest thing that, and this is part of one of the things, the reasons why we quit doing the 3-month box. We haven't painted since the last time we did a live stream.
Yeah.
And that's... Oh, Rain on Widows. Okay, I have actually done that. Remember, I did that one painting as a sample.
And you never taught it. That would be a good one.
Yeah, that one was really interesting because the painting I did was a really really soft, blurry. It looked like tulip fields kind of off in the distance, and then a window pane, and then lots of water droplets. And it wasn't like we looked at it and said, oh, no, we're not going to do this one. We just kind of decided it wasn't the right time to do it. And I don't know where it is. But that would be a fun one to do. Like, wouldn't it be fun to kind of, yeah, we could do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember why we decided that it was not the right time for that painting. Maybe it felt too gloomy or something for fall. All right.
It was something like that.
I'm going to take my number 8 brush now. I'm going to take a little bit of our process yellow. I'm just going to start laying this in over the top of our... We don't want to go real super bold with this yet. Just laying it in on top of our yellow ochre, raw sienna, if that's what you're using.
Now this is where this painting reminds me of that one Mount St. Helens, or yeah, you did a Spirit Lake painting.
St. Helens Wildflowers, I think is what it was called.
No, nope, it's not that one. It had a really glowing field in the
Yeah,
meadow.
I know which one you're talking about.
You know, I think it was Mount Rainier National Park.
Oh, you're right. It was Rainier.
Yeah, because it had this lower meadow thing.
My bad.
You remember in college when you went through the acid green phase?
No.
You were like using it on every single painting for a while, and I was like, how do I tell him that painting, that color?
I don't remember using it that much.
How do I tell him that color is not it?
I don't know. I did some weird paintings in college. Dave Selleck encouraged me.
Yes, he was good too. Paul did acid in college. Acid green paint.
Covered bridge would be fun.
Yeah, I think a covered bridge would be really fun, especially because there's a new Beetlejuice movie coming out, and the covered bridge has... Remember the covered bridge in the Beetlejuice movie?
I mean, that's the whole
It's in
cause
the
of their
trailer.
death, right?
Yeah, it's in the trailer, and I was like, oh, that would be a fun painting to do.
We're an hour and 8 minutes in. I like your painting. Yours is softer and more meadowy feeling.
More meadowy. It feels meadowy.
It does. It's fine. I didn't say I didn't like mine. I just said I like yours.
Okay.
All right. I'm just figuring out where we're at. We're just kind of bouncing around. I've got the instructions here. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to miss writing the instructions.
Did you have to go back and try and remember them?
No, it's just like it's so hard to convey in such a short. You've got a couple of sentences to try to convey so much information that if you just watch the video, you get all that information. So let's look at the original here. So it's all looking pretty good. Feel good about how that's looking. I feel like there's a little bit more green up in here, so let's do that. We can add a little bit more green. So I'm going to take my number 8. I'm going to take a little cyan, a little yellow ochre. I'm going to go a little bit more towards the cyan. There we go. Just kind of bring some of this color in. You want to bring some of that up a little bit. We can always bring some more of the bright pink and stuff in to the mix. That's the nice thing I like about this kind of technique is because we're not doing block shapes and just filling in, it's kind of this process of just letting all the colors kind of lay on top of each other and create your finished look. I got that one spot that's still kind of lifting a bit, so I'm going to leave that alone. There we go. And so I like this technique, and the more we do this, the more I paint and the more I get, I'm definitely finding that as I'm going along in my artist trajectory, that I lean more and more impressionist. And so using the number 8 brush on this size canvas, now this is the key, on this size canvas. If I were doing like an 18 by 20, I would be using this big brush, our biggest brush, or 18 by 24, the biggest brush a lot. Portlandia, you know, maybe.
But we try to get away from doing too many Oregon things because
Yeah.
we got fans from all over.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was fun last summer when we did or maybe it was last spring, the manatee
Yeah, that was last
things
spring.
that were that one was the Everglades.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we need to figure out some way to write off traveling for painting.
Yeah, it's called you bring one of your Prima machines around and you sign up for all the trade shows.
No. We can write off a lot of traveling if we're doing it for painting, if we're artists.
Yeah.
Now we have a little travel trailer that we can tow now. It's just, which would be fine for you and I and the dogs, but add the kids in the mix, it's a little small.
They wouldn't want to go anyway. Well, Hayden would want to go. He would love it.
He would be fine.
He would love it.
The G thing, not so much.
Yeah, there's actually, I saw an ad on Facebook for a horror-themed camp out that you can do in Oregon somewhere.
No thanks.
And it's basically, there's probably a, Jason from Friday the 13th sort of character going around the camp, that sort of thing. And I was I showed it to Greta and I was like, you know what would be the horror for you is actually camping.
It's true. Well, I told you that when I was in junior high.
The other stuff would be fine.
When I was in junior high, our church went to a youth camp down at the coast, and we watched Psycho. And right at the scene where...
I've actually never seen Psycho.
Oh, it's such a good movie. Right at the scene where he pulls back the curtain, one of the camp counselors turned on a strobe light in the corner of the room, and another counselor kicked the door in with a chainsaw. And right when this was going on, one of the counselors, I was laying there was me and my buddies, and we were all laying on our stomachs on our sleeping bags watching this movie, and the counselor right behind me reached up and grabbed me by the ankles and pulled me back about 6 inches. Scared the crap out of me. That was an interesting
church camp?
Oh yeah. So then this was an interesting church camp, because then after watching Psycho, we had a bonfire down on the beach, and all the girls went back to the cabin and all the boys stayed at the bonfire, and then our job was to put the fire out. And guess how we were all trying to put the fire out?
How did you have any pee left after those camp counselors did that?
We were peeing on the bonfire, just a big circle of us teenage boys peeing on the bonfire.
That is so funny.
And then we're all sleeping, and at 2 a.m., one of the counselors busted into one of the cabins with the chainsaw going. Now, they didn't have a chain on the saw, just to be fair.
You're going to worship Jesus.
Yeah, this was at church camp.
Say your prayers, children.
That was so much. That was a good fun
this
church
is the
camp.
holy chainsaw.
We had so much fun on that church retreat. Camp Waikanima or something. I don't think that kind of activity would fly in today's church camp world.
Probably not.
Oh, Coach Curtis, yeah. you talking about Dick Curtis? He was the athletic director when I was in school. I actually went to school with his son. Oh, back in the day.
Long ago, before your knees cracked every time you walk upstairs.
Hey, my knees don't crack too bad.
Ankles?
No. Or my wrists and my shoulders.
Coach Curtis used to play the penguin Jaws.
Wasn't it Coach Rucktishaw? Oh, shit.
What?
Oops. I think that might be the first time we've sworn on our channel.
Bleep. Yeah, go back and bleep it out.
As long as it's not in the first 2 minutes, we're good. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to start adding some flowers because we're getting kind of down to the end, and I'm going to do the Jenny technique. You can see the flowers in here are really just a lot of little dabs of color. So I mixed up.
You're talking about these?
Yeah, those and these over here. I used some bright yellow mixed with
White?
no, yes, some white too, but also bright to make some more orange. I did some like of our bright yellow and magenta, and then add some little dots of magenta as well. So I'm going to do this with the number 4.
Your number 4 is kind of trash, by the way.
That's fine. That actually works out really good.
I was like dividing up the brushes. I'm like, this one's going to Paul. It's definitely
I actually,
yours.
she knows, I actually prefer, I'm going to add a little bit more bright yellow to this.
You guys should go on tour around the region broadcasting painting episodes on the road. Just don't make it like the usual TY episodes you see nowadays.
I think, you know what, we should do it, but we should dress like Mulder and Scully. Like, we should totally, like, recreate our own intro that's like the intro to the X-Files, and we'll call it the Paint Files.
The paint files. We should do, like, ghost hunting and painting.
No, I don't know how to do that.
Are you scared of ghost hunting?
I've had enough encounters with ghosts that I don't need to go hunt ghosts.
You don't want to be Zockbagons.
Let's be honest, his name is Baggins.
Greta and I were watching some show where they talked about Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, and the guy called him Zockbagons. So we're like, that's what we're calling him from now on. Zockbagons.
Now, if you need to use a smaller brush to do this, you can do that too. Mine's like really jacked up, but that's okay. I'm just using this as just kind of a base. And, you know, I'm going to do a little bit of this color right back up in here too, just to kind of hint that there's some flowers.
Ghost Facers from Supernatural. Facers.
I remember that
Ghost
episode.
Facers?
So I've
What's
actually
that?
watched more.
Oh, were they the ones that went to that cabin? They were in a couple episodes. The guys
Yeah.
that had the channel, yes.
I've actually watched more Supernatural than you have.
No, that is not true.
It's true because I watched like all the way, like start to finish, like the first like 12 seasons.
So which one did you have a crush on?
Oh, totally.
Dean. It's
Totally
Dean.
Dean.
Yeah.
That boy's got some sexy eyes.
He really does.
And he can sing. Man, can he sing.
Yes, he can. That's right. You sent me some video of him like in a concert or like having a concert.
Guy can sing like, Lord.
Paul's got a man crush.
It's totally healthy. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. People that tell you that men shouldn't have men crushes have man crushes, and they're just embarrassed about it.
It's true. Oh, Sid's a Sam girl. Greta and I watched an old, like early 2000s, like 2005 movie the other day called House of Wax, and it's a horror movie, and he's in it, and he like gets killed off so soon. We're like, man, if only they'd have known that he was going to go on and be like a bigger star, they would have kept him on longer.
You guys, I got a recommendation for a good little documentary series. It's the one about the ghost train down in Australia. What was that called?
Ghost train in Australia.
Remember the amusement park ride that burned down?
Oh, that was so good. Yeah. Well, let me look it up. It was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking, but
It was
good.
heartbreaking, but it was
Exposed the ghost train fire. It
yeah.
was an amusement park.
Yeah, it was an amusement park.
Amusement
park, and the ride burned down. And I'm not going to get into it because you guys should watch it because I don't know, maybe I should say it ends up that there's a big cover up involved in it.
Yeah.
And it burned what in like 1978 or something, 79 or something, somewhere in that time, and they just have figured it out in the last 5 or 6 years that
they have nothing to prove that it was.
They've got some pretty good solid connection.
Yeah, like as the outside viewer, you're watching this and you're just getting enraged because you know that it.
Don Cornelius, Soul Train, yeah, I get it, Daniel.
You know that it was a caused fire. And
yeah, it was intentional. It was arson. But anyway, it is heartbreaking. Enchanted Forest is haunted. I'm not surprised.
Our little theater is haunted.
Yeah.
Did we ever tell about what happened when we were cleaning up that one day?
I think we did tell that story. So like, I was doing some sanding, and Jenny said, "Make sure you sweep that up." And I was like, "Yeah, I will." And like literally like 2 minutes later, I hear this big crash in the back room, and I'm like, "What was that?" And I turn around.
You were in the back room, weren't you?
I was in the back room, yeah. And I turn around, and the metal dustpan is in the middle of the floor.
I mean, that was what the noise was. It had dropped into the middle of the floor.
Been knocked into the middle of the floor or whatever. We've gone in multiple times, and the lights have been turned on.
Yeah, so once we started tearing out some stuff in the back room for remodeling, suddenly now when we're going in, and we have a digital code, so Paul can check on his phone and see who's been in there, who hasn't been in there, just based on the code they have to put in to go in the front door.
Yep.
And they were doing remodeling, Paul and this other guy, and they left at night, and they turned off all the lights. They made sure of it because we get on their case anytime that the lights are left on. And because we don't have a lot of money coming in, so we're like, we can't have electricity going out. And,
we have no money coming in.
Not at the moment. And he comes in the next morning to do more remodeling, and every single light in the building is on. And it's like 5 switches you have to turn on in different rooms.
Yeah, and so then the other guy that I'm working with, he came in a little bit later. I was like, "Hey, we turned all the lights off when we left, didn't we?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, they were all on when we got here, and there's nobody been here since we left."
Definitely haunted. And we've had some other weird... There was one video we did on here, actually, when we used to stream in that space, and there's like all these orbs all over.
Yeah. So we've all gotten in the habit, as soon as we walk in the door, the first thing we do is announce that, "Hey, here we are. We're here. I'm Paul, and we're here to bring this space back up to be a wonderful place for you, so that you can experience all the wonderful art and music and theater that we're going to produce here."
Yeah, so we're like telling it.
Yeah.
We're good. We're doing good stuff here. We're not going to like tear up your place.
Yeah, we're doing this so that you can enjoy everything, and so it's and so we just make sure that there's... Jenny and I have encountered several types of things like in old buildings with our art. We used to have a painting that would swing.
What painting was that?
The babushka doll painting.
No, it would.
Yes.
I don't remember it swinging.
Yeah, it was swinging one day, and then it was on the ground.
Well, it used to. It would be on the ground and then move 15 feet away. Well, still on the floor.
No, but somebody saw it swinging one night.
Okay.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
But the manager of our studio asked me why I kept taking the painting down and moving it, and I said, I thought you were doing it.
Yeah. And it was interesting because when we moved into the studio, this was our very first studio we had over in Selwood,
This
Portland.
is chat disconnected.
It says
okay.
it reconnected.
Okay.
And we had found this little tiny doll.
Little wooden doll.
No, it was fabric.
Yeah, it was wooden. It had a wooden head.
Okay. But it's like, maybe, 2 inches tall?
Kind of reminded me a little bit of those dolls you make from,
Like felting?
no, the dolls that you make from the
Clothespins?
clothespin, yeah.
Yeah. And it was there, and I don't remember why. We took it. It was left in the space, but we took it, and the space had been a toy store before us, so we weren't surprised. But it was little, and we took it home, I think. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we did.
And we had a painting that looked a lot like it, and the painting started coming off the wall.
That's the painting that kept coming down off the wall.
And so we were like, one day we were like, well, that looks a lot like the little doll. So we brought the doll back, and that kind of stopped happening.
Mm-hmm.
But in that same location,
the doll back.
You were there one time, and you felt somebody pull on your apron.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there. And so the funny thing is when we lost that space, it was because the neighbor went behind our back and
he stole our lease.
He stole our lease without us getting an opportunity. So we took all that stuff out. So we hope he's getting haunted.
We told the ghost when we moved out, like, you can haunt the crap out of this place. We don't care. We're taking the doll, and you can do whatever you want.
All right, so I'm going to take a little bit more of our bright yellow. Yeah, I grew up in a house with a spirit, so, this is all normal stuff. You encountered the spirit there, didn't you, at my parents' house?
Did
I think so.
There was one day I had to be there alone. For some reason, it was like, I don't remember why. You and your parents went somewhere for when you started the mailbox company, and I had to stay there in case customers showed up, and I just felt like
the house was weird. I mean, it was cool. Like, I enjoyed it. Oh, Sid, of course. Sid remembers.
Yeah. Yeah, your guys' mom has told me being down in the basement doing laundry, and all of a sudden she hears all these footsteps coming down the wooden stairs and turns around to greet whoever's home from school, and nobody's there. Paranormal painting.
We're going story time. We're going story time deep now. Whose idea was it for story time? It was Daniel. One of these days I'll tell you guys my Sasquatch story.
Yeah, we should do a Sasquatch painting.
Oh,
we
that's
talked
right.
about it, remember?
We did.
We just need to do it. It is weird when you hear random voices and you're alone. You can talk to your doctor about that.
I always love one of my favorite lines from a Ben Harper song. He says, "I'm not sure what worries me more, the fact that I'm talking to the wall, or the fact that it's talking back to me."
Go Bigfoot hunting in Idaho and paint up there.
Sid says, "I remember hearing a picture slide off the dining room wall and then found out it was still hanging." Yeah, there was some weird stuff in the old household. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. All right. My bad.
I remember there was like a ruby ring that someone found in the backyard.
My dad did when he was weeding. He pulled up a weed, and there was this ruby ring that came up with it.
Yeah. And everyone who your sister Lee wore the ring when she was working at a gas station, and
she scalded her hand, and they had to cut that ring off.
Whatever happened to that ring?
I don't know. Thing was weird, man.
Cursed ring.
So I'm just going to add I'm just using a little bit of some white and yellow together.
Yep, Dad found a haunted ring. That's insane.
He totally did. I don't know where it went.
Yeah,
I had it for a while.
your mom kept it in her jewelry box for a while.
It was weird. That was like when I was in high school and like my sister had it cut off and we were all like it was haunted, so I kept it like in my room. And I remember like I swear I heard this voice once that was like, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Right. Was it around the times you were reading the Lord of the Rings?
It may have been. So I'm just adding some little dabs of color here, you guys. I'm getting going in the storytelling. We forget to teach sometimes. And I'm not doing much. Terry had it for a while too. Maybe Terry has it now. I don't know. I don't know whatever happened to it.
Are we sure it's not October? It's October every month for me, Daniel. Every month.
So just to give you guys some background, the house that we had growing up was built in an area where there had been iron mines back in the 1800s, and so there was underground areas and camps and stuff around the area, and we believe that the ring was somebody who had been in one of the camps ring because it was old. And I really wish I knew where it was.
Your parents probably know. You can ask them on Easter.
But anybody who ever had it, like it just kind of always had weird luck. I'm not gonna say anybody had it. It's not like I was running around. I was like a teenage kid wearing like a lady's, ruby ring.
Sure.
But I definitely was like into like fantasy books and stuff, so it was, kind of like, oh, it's cool. So I'm gonna add some white flowers now to.
Yeah. Daniel says you should one day have one of your sisters on a video.
Oh, yeah, I should.
Sid could come.
Now I'm gonna get mad at my sister Terry right now. She stole my thunder by getting braces before I did.
I think I'm just about done with my.
Yeah, so all we're doing really right now is just adding flowers. And I don't really want you to spend a lot of time like specifically painting flowers. We're just giving little pops of color that suggest that there's flowers. If you want to do some pink ones, you can. Some red ones, you can. Mine are pretty needed too, Sid, according to my dentist. I got some jacked up bottom teeth.
I can't believe how expensive it is. Like, so our daughter needs a new retainer because hers keeps cracking. So I think she bites her teeth, grinds her teeth together at night probably. And they can make it out of a heavier material, but that makes her gag. And so we can't do that. But like to go in and just get a new retainer, which is it looks like those Invisalign, the tray, it's a plastic tray. It's like for a top and bottom one, it's gonna be like $700. And I'm like, I already paid you $6,000 for braces. Come on. Come on.
All right, I'm just gonna add some extra little.
You move the teeth. You make sure they stay in the same spot.
Right. Yeah, essentially my dentist told me if I don't get my bottom teeth braces and fixed, I'm going to have a lot of severe dental issues as I get older. So, it's needed for me too. But Terry she just had big major mouth surgery. What's the kinds of trees you're painting? They are cherry trees. I mean, that's about it, you guys. There's really not much else to do with this painting. You could kind of like go in and I'll bring the original one back in. You can see it's pretty similar. I guess I'm a little brighter still in the middle here. Yeah, plum is actually, like our plum trees in the backyard are actually just, the blossoms are pure white. So
They're like very pale pink.
yeah, very pale pink to, well, Daniel was saying more purpley. But they're really just a pale pink. Cherry blossoms and plum blossoms are very, very, very similar. I actually think that they're very closely related, but I'm not 100% sure. That sounded so slurred. All right, I'm gonna do a little extra super pale white here. That Bigfoot in the background with some ghosts off in the distance too. Maybe Mothman would be a good addition.
That is a very bright grass.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe a UFO landed there and burned
That's
it.
totally fine.
It's a crop circle.
As opposed to being a swamp.
Yeah, it could be a swamp.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys feel like it's too bright, you can always warm it up with a little bit of yellow. If you really felt like you want it to be more green, you could do yellow and cyan. You know, it's up to you.
Sincerely, Zakbagons. It's Z-A-K. He's not Satch. I know that spells sack.
You know who he really looks like. What's the... He looks like the boomerang, sumerang lady from, what's her name?
Lady Elaine?
Lady Elaine. He looks like Lady Elaine from Mr.
Oh,
Rogers.
No.
He totally does. It's the hair.
Leave Zakbagons alone.
Leave Zakbagons alone. Oh, Sid, do you remember the Bigfoot on the skateboard painting? All right, you guys. I am going to sign mine. And I'm going to get my palette out of the way. I'm going to slide this over to about yay.
We don't know because...
And I'm going to bring Jenny's in from the side like they.
Like they?
There we go. I think they're both on there.
Yeah, we'll see in just a second.
Yeah, yours has definitely got almost more impressionistic kind of vibes.
Oh my gosh, it's like, it just autofocus. I'm like, why is it so blurry? Almost more impressionistic?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I did my clouds a little bolder, bigger.
I actually like how yours is not so bold in here. Mine feels too bold. Like, my original is not that bold.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, I like yours better.
Yeah, my clouds do look like a big storm coming in. I agree. I noticed that right away when I first started painting them. I love big, bold clouds.
I love big
clouds, and I cannot lie.
Clouds.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, it's fun to see how different they are. I added a little more magenta to my sky, so it's definitely got a little bit more purple tone up in here.
Yeah, I'm not real happy with how mine turned out through here. I think I got a little too bold.
That's an easy fix.
It is an easy fix.
Easy fix.
That's one of those that you can keep playing around with. I think I just kind of got too bold with it.
They almost look like they're real.
Yeah.
We are real, and we are here.
Jenny's clouds are gorgeous. Just like Jenny.
They do. Cheesy. They do look like thunderheads coming in.
Now, was that cheddar or Parmesan?
Cheddar.
Definitely cheddar cheesy. At least it wasn't blue cheese.
Yeah.
Well, but a good French blue cheese.
Let me grab what we're teaching next Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for this one. Now, if you guys want to, you can pre-paint your canvas black. I'm going to do it. Yeah, it starts out black.
Okay.
And then we paint the raccoon on top of it and then add the color background. I'm going to start, I'll be painting mine on the air next Friday as we teach, so I'm not going to start with a pre-painted black canvas, but you totally can. If you don't like painting on wet black paint, feel free to just paint it black and let it dry. But I'm going to use such a thin coat that it'll be like partially dry. And it'll be
I
okay.
saw a canvas and I want to paint it black.
I'm excited for that one. It looks like our little dog Chicky at home.
It does look like Chicky,
She looks like a tanuki, which is a raccoon dog in Japan.
which has nothing to do with raccoons, actually.
No.
Nothing whatsoever. So, you guys, thanks so much for bearing with us and our throat clearing and a little bit of coughing. And next week we should be really good.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I can't remember what else I was going to say. Same place, same time. Friday before, I guess it's Good Friday?
Oh, is that the Friday before Easter?
Yeah, it's the Friday before Easter. So we will be here painting, teaching you the raccoon, and take care during this next week. It's spring break here in Oregon, so all of our, well, actually, I don't know if it's all throughout Oregon, if they do like certain counties at different times.
I don't know. I think usually it's state by state.
I will be trying to entertain my almost 18-year-old all week long next week, so that'll be interesting.
So that won't be any different than usual. I swear the child never goes to school.
Yeah, well.
I'm homesick. Should we go get sushi?
That's so Greta.
Like, I was expecting you to go, that's not true, but yeah.
That's so Greta.
It's 100% true.
So
Can we get Starbucks too? No, wait, not Starbucks.
Yeah.
Cowboy coffee.
Cowboy coffee. So anyway, we'll be seeing you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week, and let us know if you have any questions on colors. I will do another post about what colors you can use if you're running out of paint. And I think that's it.
Yeah, let's see, around first of the month or so, we should be launching our new website. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Don't hold us to it, but that's our goal. Yeah, most of our membership and everything is going to all be through YouTube and stuff now. But we're going to like make sure that everybody is still connected to our website as far as for emails and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to be shifting that focus on the 1st.
Yep. For sure.
For sure.
All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I know there's not a lot left. Oops. There we go. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And close.